to Top Growth Financial, and this week we're going to be giving you our top 3 stock picks, but it's going to be a little different this time. We're going to give you 3 stock picks that pay out good dividends, and the first of those stocks is going to be NextEra Energy Partners. And what they do is they acquire, own, and manages contracted clean energy products in the United States. The company owns a portfolio of contracted renewable generation assets consisting of wind and solar projects, as well as contracted natural gas pipeline assets. NextEra Energy Partners LP was incorporated in 2014 and is headquartered in Juno Beach, Florida. So here we got the 5-year NextEra Energy stock chart, and they were at one point at $85. They dropped down a little bit, they're at $75, but as I told you guys earlier, they do pay out that dividend, and Mitch will tell you exactly what that is later, so stay tuned for that. So when you look up this company, you're going to want to look up ticker NEP, and a lot of times it's confused with NEE because this is NextEra Energy Partners, and this is a subsidiary of NextEra Energy. And when you look at NEP's 5-year stock chart, you can see that they're pretty consistent. They got all the way up to $85 at one point, but now they're back down to $75. But since it's such a consistent stock, we think that it's at a point where it could go even higher. And a lot of other people think that also, as you'll see later in the tip ranks.
But the most intriguing part of this company that we like is their dividend payouts. And currently they pay an annual dividend of $2.55, which is a 3.5% dividend yield. They've also been increasing their dividend payouts each quarter. So let's take a look at the chart. Alright, so if you look at the top here, their last quarterly payout was 63.7 cents per quarter. But if you look down the line, you can see they've consistently increased their payouts each quarter. And looking all the way down to 2015, they were paying 27 cents per quarter. So they've more than doubled that payout in 6 years. And this consistent increase in payouts is a very good sign for the long term. Alright, so now that we've talked their numbers, we're going to take you through their tip ranks. They currently have an average price target of $89, which is up about $14 from what they're currently at, which is an 18.76% upside. And even looking at the lowest price target of $82, it's still up about $7 per share. And looking over to the left, you can see they have a moderate buy rating with 2 buy ratings and 2 holds with 0 sells. So we saw that almost 19% upside on the average price target. Well, let's also take into account that 3.5% dividend yield that we're going to be getting each year. So with adding on that dividend yield, we can expect to see almost a 22% upside at the end of the year.
So the next company we're going to be talking to you about is AbbVie, and the ticker for that is ABBV. And what they do is they develop and they manufacture their own pharmaceuticals, and they do this on a worldwide scale. And you can learn more about them on their website. But for the most part, a basic rundown of their company. The biggest drug that they've made that you might have heard of, that's been all over infomercials, and you probably heard commercials for it on the radio. It's been a big seller for them, but unfortunately, their patent for that drug has expired. But it's really what they're doing in the future that we're worried about. They have so many projects in their pipeline. Currently, it's sitting at about 120 projects in that pipeline. That's going to help carry their growth in the future. They're also helping push some coronavirus medicines that'll help people that have already suffered from the coronavirus, and that could also be a big revenue booster for them. And we think that they're going to do really good in the future. And they also pay a great dividend. But we want to take you to their stock charts next. So as you can see, there was a little bit of a dip at the beginning of the year. They bounced back pretty quickly, which just shows how resilient of a company that they are. And right now they're at $112.30, which is up 16.37% on the year. But that's really good in our opinion, and that's because they're not a growth company. They're a consistent company with consistent growth over the past couple of years, and they also pay a good dividend, as Mitch will go over with you later. So now Mitch is going to go a little bit more in depth with you on those numbers.
So their current PE ratio is a little higher than what we like to look for, with it being currently 40 right now. That is a little high right now, but that higher number projects future growth. And we both believe that this company is going to live up to that growth expectation. And we believe that to be because of what Josh was talking about earlier with all these projects they have in their pipeline and everything they're doing currently, everything they're working on. And lastly, what we love about this company are their dividend payouts. Their current dividend payout is $5.20 per year, and that's a 4.6% dividend yield. And look at how consistent they've been with their increased dividend payouts per year. Looking down at 2016, where they paid 57 cents per quarter, they've more than doubled their payouts since then. So now we're going to take you through the tip ranks, where you can see they currently have a 9.37% upside on their average price target, which basically moves right with the stock market average. But let's not forget about that 4.6% dividend yield, which is a guaranteed payout each year. So if we take that into account, we'll actually be moving above the market average.
So now we want to take you through our final stock pick, and this is going to be Realty Income. Their stock ticker is O, and the main thing that they do is they invest in commercial property, and then they rent out those commercial properties to gym chains and movie theaters. And some examples are LA Fitness, Lifestyle Fitness, and then for the movie theaters, AMC and Regal Cinemas, which are both big, lucrative chains that have been consistent over time. I know that during COVID, they were both slowed down quite a bit, which is actually what brought their stock price down a lot, as you'll see here. So here you see the 5-year chart, which at one point it got all the way up to $82.44, and it dropped down all the way to $43.60 at one point, which is extremely low. It's not there anymore. It's back up to $67.95, as you can see in this 1-year chart. But we have reason to believe that it's going to get back up to that point that it was at before, because with everybody going back and watching these movies at the movie theaters and getting back into the gym, we really think that these lucrative businesses are going to continue to make money, and really they're just collecting their rent. So as long as these companies can pay their rent, they're going to continue to make their money and be able to pay out the strong dividends that they pay out, as you can see here. They've consistently increased their dividend over the past 2 years, as you see in this chart, but it's been much longer than that. But most importantly, they've just been very consistent. They've stayed around this 24 cent mark over the past 2 years. And what's really impressive is their dividend never dropped during COVID. Okay, so now looking at the tip ranks, you can see that there's 4 buy ratings out of 7 total ratings, with a total upside of 10.86%, setting it at $75.33. But you have to remember, just like AbbVie, this also pays a great dividend, and it's at a 4.14% dividend yield, which will take it up to almost 15% on that upside, which beats the market by 50%. And we really think this one is going to take off.
So what's great about these dividend paying companies is that after each quarter, you can then reinvest those dividend payouts back into that company. And if you do that for long enough, you're going to accumulate more shares, which will then give you a bigger dividend payout each quarter. So if you keep reinvesting these dividend payouts back into the company, it could actually become a very solid form of passive income for you. So that's going to be it for this week's video. If you like these ones, make sure to stay tuned for next week's video, which is going to be our top 3 stock picks banking edition, which is going to be our top 3 bank stocks that also pay a very good dividend as well. Thank you guys for watching this week. We hope you enjoyed. If so, don't forget to punch that like and subscribe button.